now it's time for our latest feature from the tack shed to the clothes closet. TacknTogs presents. I'm at the Farm Progress Show 2008 in the middle of the Loose Tails FoodLink Chuck Wagon journey. I brought my Percherons and everybody was laughing at me. They said, "Trent, why don't you broach Jim and Josh?" So I ran down to the Valley Vet Supply booth. Doug Froggle is here and he says, "Trent, we can take care of that." Tell us about Valley Vet and what in the world is Diane doing up there?
Well, Valley Vet is a mail order business. We got an equine edition, we've got farm and ranch edition, pet edition, and we also got into human supplements.
Pet food and human supplements. That sounds like it makes perfect sense. How did you get the combination of the two?
Well, they just started going with human supplements here lately, I guess. We've always been a pet distributor. Most of our main is equine and farm and ranch.
And that's one thing, Doug, that I think we should spend a little time on, because typically we've thought about vet supplies as a place that we walk in, grab something off of the shelf. I don't know that Valley Vet truly pioneered this, but I can tell you that everything we've gotten through Valley Vet has been mail order, either catalog or internet. And man, that's opened up a whole new realm of possibilities today.
You bet. It's unique. You can get everything right from your house, sit right at your computer, punch it in, and it's unique. If you call in Central Standard Time before 3 o'clock, it will get shipped that day.
Diane is up here, Purcelli. We should let everybody know Diane Purcelli is up here on Josh. Number one, why is she sitting on my horse doing this?
I think she's too short to reach it otherwise.
That's a good point. What's she using and why is she doing that?
She's using our Wahl Bravado clipper. You can order out of the Valley Vet catalog. And I'm not a horseman, so you'll have to explain why she's doing that.
Well, I'm doing it because of peer pressure. Everybody said you got to roach these Percherons, Trent. You got to roach them. But a clipper's a clipper, right? Is there a difference?
This one here is actually a little bit stronger of a clipper. It was designed for veterinarians. If you run into maybe some hair or fur that might have dried blood or get some dirt, it's got an extra chip in it that'll kick extra power in and it'll just clip right through it.
I noticed the cord's not getting in her way either.
That's great. It's cordless. You bet. It's a battery charged, and then it's also got a cord you can plug in if your battery runs dead, and it'll run exactly with the cord plugged in, or once the battery's charged, you can unplug the cord and keep going.
Is there a difference? I mean, we have shown cattle for a long time. We're obviously using it on horses here. Is there a difference in the supplies?
There are some that are based just for cattle, but some of them can transfer over. And the unique thing about the one she has is the blade that's on there has 5 different settings. So if you want to go down to surgical, you can just move the lever on the bottom of it, or it'll go up down to a number 9. So that's another unique thing about the Bravado that she's using.
Roger
Van Drew.
Van Drew.
Right.
Okay, Roger, with Wahl.
What we got Diane trying out now is we have a new champion blade for the 5-in-1. It's a corrosion. It's got a covering on it, and what that does, it also retains a little oil in the blade, but it seems like it gives a little slicker coat. We've seen it in dogs and horses and that, so I'm having her try it on the mane here. She said that it seems like it's working real well. Now that blade is going to be twice as expensive as the others.
And for any of us that have clipped livestock, the challenge is keeping some lubrication so that we don't get all balled up.
Yes, exactly. And this blade has some little pockets built into it that will retain some of the oil in the blade so it doesn't all just disappear. Of course, part of the thing with oiling the blades that a lot of people do not understand, it not only keeps the blades lubricated, but it also flushes the blade. So if there's any particles that get in there, a lot of times people say, well, it keeps binding up. Well, how often do you oil it? And they'll say, well, at least once every clipping. No, you need to really be clipping them or oiling them as you clip, probably about every 15 minutes.
Either blade, what would you expect life expectancy to be?
Well, depending on if the animal's clean. I know a lady that the life expectancy, she's probably doing about 30 head of horses she boards. She's in California, so they do some trace clipping, some cleanup, a little bit of roaching or clipping the mane completely down. But with that, she's finding that she's getting at least 6-7 months at least out of one blade. That was before the champion. I'm anxious to let her try the champion. It's kind of a new blade for us. We found that it's a really big hit in the dog world because they definitely notice that it seems like it gives a little bit slicker cut and lasts probably about twice as long as the other blade one of our professional dog groomers has advised us. So.
Now, you were picking on another species that I enjoy. I call it the latest in hybrid cars. Actually, it's the oldest in hybrid cars, but we didn't really recognize it as hybrid transportation until the green generation came along. But a mule, a cross between a horse and a donkey, is a hybrid vehicle. But you were kind of saying they're a little tougher to clip. What's that about?
Right, it's because their hair and the fibers in their hair are a little bit thicker by average.
Kind of like the fibers in their skull?
Well, that could be. We're not going to go there. We've already had enough problems. No, but at mule, it just seems like their hair is a little bit thicker. Normally, the first thing we hear of anybody that has a mule or that particular breed of animal, that they know those
particular hybrid vehicle.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's refer to them as a hybrid
vehicle. That particular hybrid vehicle, they say, no, I just won't cut. You have to have the big ones, the more aggressive type. And we found that no, you really don't have to. These will do it. You know, if you take your time. The clipper is meant to be quiet. It's meant to go through the ease. As you can see, you know, we could probably get one of the larger, you know, like Lister shears or something like that. We could probably take it off nothing flat like we do wool on a sheep.
And unless you've not clipped an animal, you might not understand that it's beneficial not to sound like a chainsaw when you're going around the ears.
Yeah, we got that going in the back. I was wondering about that when you guys were doing the taping. Everybody thinks that maybe that's the clipper that's making that noise. However, the clipper is very quiet. We have people now that with any of the Arcos or Bravura, that's the one they were using on this first one here, that they're using it to even do full body clips and everything because it's so quiet, it's so easy to use. They must have patience of a saint because the blade is not that wide as a wide blade. It's probably at least an inch narrower than a wide blade would be that we would normally do body clipping with. But however, it's so easy, it's quiet, they don't have the long cord to contend with. They might have to charge it, you know, a couple, 2 or 3 times to get through a full horse, depending if it's one of the larger hybrid breeds.
See, you're already adopting my terminology.
I'm on here that this is the only way to go.
So did we not make it through Josh without recharging?
No, we made it through Josh. The only thing I did is I changed clippers is because the other one had the other head and I wanted to charge it up and make it through. The one that we were using, a Bravura, going like something like this, the normal charge will be 80 minutes. Now, when you go up to roaching a mane, even though it has that torque control feature, and the more we put that torque control into use, otherwise pushing the clipper into the hair, because he has rather thick hair. As you well know, you've clipped him before yourself. The battery expectancy we're finding on this one, particular one, is going down to about 60 minutes.
Good thing I brought up a backup horse.